everyone, this is my second video for the Abernathy Farms build I've done, and unfortunately this will not be my last. I'm not done yet. Nah, I'm just messing with you guys. This is it. So this will be my settlement tour showing you how everything's set up. First I'm going to do nighttime, and then I'll come back around and do a daytime walkthrough as well. I'm going to try to not talk through all of this, so just to allow you to see everything that's been laid out.
Here's Big Maybell with a whole lot of shaking going on. I don't know what else to say. It kind of speaks for itself. I'm gonna play.
Alright, so this front area right here is a bar hangout area I wanted to create. I wanted to seem like it has been utilized in some fashion and set up. Unfortunately, because I am on the PS4, I don't have the ability to bring a bunch of people in right now without just absolutely plummeting my frames per second. So right now I'm just doing a walkthrough with just the main Abernathy family here. I actually glitched in 3 bar shop stalls into that bar, so technically I could put some bar owner or some bar tenders in there to actually be able to order from and buy food and drink from, but right now there's nobody set up there. If you're wondering, I used OC Decorator to allow me to place all of these Nuka Cola bottles. Because of that, they are not interactable, so you can't pick them up, you can't knock them over, which makes it nice for the videos like this, especially if you have dog meat or anybody else with you and they tend to not be able to navigate corners well and bump into furniture. It allows them to, all those items you place there to not fall over, which is nice. On the inside of the house, I really didn't change anything. All I did was spruce it up a little bit to make it look like Abernathy family has been making some money from this whole setup. So I put in some nicer beds where I could, as well as I put in a nicer dining room table, a rug, and some nicer chairs up in this front middle area right there, where they hang out, eat, and just kind of converse. That way, it looks a lot nicer than that rundown kind of scrappy table and chairs and everything they have initially. Other than that, I really didn't do anything into the house. I just kept it as kind of a back post to where I could put turrets and have a lookup point for the back area where enemies do happen to spawn, back by that trailer. I really like the way the wall turned out with all the different giant Nuka Cola bottles, especially with utilizing the different flavors that add different colors to the bottles themselves. It makes it look kind of unique. I know that's not the most realistic thing ever, but honestly, that's not what I was going for here. I wasn't going for realism. I was just looking for something that was creative and that I enjoyed. And to be honest, I really did enjoy it. So as I said before, this bottom level is all just kind of a giant hangout spot with the arcade, the bathrooms, and this big bar and sit-down area where people can hang out, enjoy a few drinks, chat, and take a load off from all the hardships of the Commonwealth. Now this second floor is where all the shops are. So I was able to create a nice little area up here where there's a lot of drink stalls. There's supposedly some of them are referred to as restaurant stalls, but visually they do use images of like drink cups, and they'll say bar over them, which is a little unfortunate. I was hoping to have it more like a full-blown kind of farmer's market. But I had spruced it up with some general stores and clothing stores as well. And then, like I said before in my previous video, I do have a single weapons and a single armor dealer as well. I put these nicer kind of pre-war couches up here. I know that doesn't fit perfectly into the look, but I couldn't remember where to find the Nuka Cola couch. So these are kind of what I ended up with. This is also kind of a hangout spot, but it's a hangout spot for people that have interacted with the shop owners and maybe are thinking of buying something or have just bought something and they want to just take a load off for a second before heading back out. Now all the shop owners are protected by that security gate. So nobody can get back there unless they go through that gate, or that door, I guess. And then I created a second little patio back here just for the shop owners. So where if they want to take a load off for a little bit and hang out and have a drink or a smoke, they're able to just take a break, relax, and be on their own without being bothered by people that might be inside of the marketplace right now. My actual 4-year-old son is the one that told me what color lights to put everywhere on this level, so it does have a little bit of a rainbow effect. Now these two little setups right here, these two little guard posts, are actually set up for guards to keep an eye on both of these security doors where technically employees only are supposed to be allowed into, to make sure nobody's trying to get back here that's not supposed to. Also to keep eye on people, that make sure they're not robbing any of the shop owners. And because of that lighting I used in the mesh flooring, it actually makes this top level where I'm growing all the crops look pretty cool in my mind. It almost reminds me of like RGB keyboards. And again, that was something that was decided by my 4-year-old son. He thought all the colors changing like that would look cool, so I decided to keep it. I also outfitted all the Abernathys with varying Nuka World clothing to kind of match the Nuka Cola, Nuka World theme.
I want to trade a few things.
Lucy apparently doesn't understand how to use doors, so she just kind of sits there in that corner. Every once in a while she will go up to the crops I have her assigned to, but I did catch her at this point stuck in that corner. Now, that is not the only entrance for employees to get up to this second level. If you remembered, when I very first walked in, there was a door to the left that said employees only stop. This is actually that doorway. Right there. So now we're going to transition to the daytime walkthrough. Now obviously nothing changes itself, just you'll get a better idea and a better view of everything without having to rely on the ambience of the lights I put up. I do really like how it looks at nighttime, but I know when I do these, some people complain about not being able to see as much detail, so I always try to remember to do a daytime walkthrough as well. And I also thought this would be a good time to kind of just show you real quick around the sides, just so you get an understanding of how the wall looks from an outsider's point of view. So I'm not going to walk all the way around, but just to give you a general idea. Again, just showing you the other side, showing you the turrets. Now I do have a slight, not a contest, but something I'm interested in. I have this weird thing in real life and in this game of putting up gnomes in random spots where they're not always the easiest to see. But I wanted to see if anybody would be able to, A, tell me how many gnomes I've put in this build. They are all viewable at one point or another through this walkthrough. And B, their locations. So how many and their locations. So I know where they are, but I'm interested to see if anybody else has happened to see them and be as weird as me, I guess. Because I did walk through all this already, I didn't want to have to walk around and show you every little thing, how it's interacting, but again, I just wanted to give you a general idea of how everything appears now in the daytime. Just because sometimes you can get a better image, a better picture of how the stuff's laid out, and just overall, sometimes it makes it easier to see. Luckily, Lucy's no longer in that corner, and you don't get to see as well as the light effect at the bottom of these planters yet anymore in daytime, but it still has that effect through the metal grating.